Guys, we have Bane next. Really interesting hero to play. Not a lot of people play him though. He look kind of like really complicated on the first impression. But once you get a hang of it, hero becomes really fun. You see that like there's so many options. Also,
Very
type of
well.
the support that can easily solo somebody if they're kind of on the lower side of the health. Yeah, just a great hero to control the situation, the fight.
Sleep
Can do a
no
really a lot with
more.
just a couple of items, right? So to start off, I would just use the usual strategy that I always recommend with the boots. Ether lens is something that this hero really needs. So just to be able with nightmare and brain sap, this kind of you can disable on much further distance, or just you being kind of in the back, so you're kind of much safer when you cast this. But it's mostly for fiend's grip. It's mostly just you can get an extra range, so you can be as far away from combat as possible, minimize any risk of interruptions. Otherlands just completely kind of helps you with that stuff. It also gets upgraded in Doctor and Core if you get the money later on. But the whole thing is just you can get an extra range. Helps you a lot with ult. They have to get much closer to be able to really cast any disables on you. By the time it might be too late for the enemy hero anyways, and there's also there's Nightmare kind of uh, eliminate them quickly, attacking you if they get close enough. Again, extended range for that as well, and the heal and other disease, right? But the thing with the boots, and this is the same story as always. Get boots, get the arcane boots. You just buy the energy booster, and that's because all of the other parts are gonna be contained into Etherlands. Just get the energy booster. Play with the arcane boots. You get some nice mana pool boost. You can spam refresh mana, right? Help yourself or allies, and then you kind of just buy the void stone when you get more money, and eventually you just buy the recipe for this. When you have all of those, you just disassemble your arcane boot, and the parts immediately just buy themselves automatically right into Otherlands. So any hero that goes to Otherlands like that is just a great way you can really bridge that nicely. No need to rush anything here. Doesn't have to be tranquil boots, stuff like that. Like I said, just it's better to just get some mana. You can always spam brain sap. It's damage, it's heal. This is great to help on the lane. If if your any of your allies get in trouble early or later on or mid game, great way to do it. It costs a lot of mana though, so it just helps with the whole thing. So after that, it's kind of like for me, I just like immediately getting Glimmer Cape. Glimmer Cape for a reason. Bane is kind of like Shadow Shaman, and well, not like Shadow Shaman, more like Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor is the best comparison. So those heroes work exactly the same with the rules and Glimmer Capes in a way where you can just cast summon one of these
Most
guys. So you can
certainly.
just kind of cast your ult, and you immediately disappear. Stop the step. Excuse me. Okay, crashing though. So
First blood!
you can see, you can
Oh,
kind of
let
just
this nightmare never end!
cast ult and immediately disappear. If you have the Glimmer Cape, they can't see you for a duration of what it is, 5 seconds. Your ult is 5 seconds on level 1, 6 seconds on the last. It's pretty much the whole duration you'll be hidden. Now, of course, they can always save dust and stuff, right? Bards. But in general, it also helps you, even if they can see you, it also helps with spell damage. They kind of try to nuke you with spells. This is just a lot of survivability right for that as well. So the same way Witch Doctor works, where you can plant his ult, quickly hide, the ult is gonna keep going. Uh, Shadow Shaman as well, even though it's not about ult, it's about, let's say, he has Shackle. So Shadow Shaman can Shackle and then hide into this. So you can see the whole theme where Glimmer Cape is really nice. I like making Shadow Blade as well, but there's nothing for you in Shadow Blade
My
that you
power
benefit from.
waxes.
You don't need damage, you don't need attack speed. You're post 5 as well, you're
They
not even post
move.
4. Uh, Bane is not somebody that right clicks. It's all about the spells. So this not only helps you, it helps the whole team. Always keep in mind when you play support, try to help your team as well, and then if there's something for you that you can add it, but mostly try to help your team. Like I said, you already have other lands, that's kind of item for you. Helps you with the distance for ult, and now even with distance you can hide yourself with clip tape. So that it's like a really nice combo, right? Extended range, be able to hide. Uh, Kind of logical next one. You want to get something like Force Step. Bane as they did Ancient Apparition, they don't have any movement extras, nothing to escape, no leaps, no jumps. Uh, Blink doesn't even it's not even made for them. For Bane,
I'll be
you can
away
get Blink.
then.
Bane kind of works with Blink. Uh, One problem is it's a lot of money. You're not making something else then. Blink is completely fine. It works great. You can kind of blink around. Uh, kind of like a Shadow Shaman. You can blink into people, immediately put one into Nightmare, disable one guy, cast ult on the other guy, and you already alone have control over any two enemy heroes. Of course, if nobody interrupts you, right? But one is always gonna get disabled. So if you wanna get something like Blink, and maybe as soon as after Etherlands, it would be a good time. But I kind of go kind of the slower way, and I just get the Glimmer Cape. You can get Blink after this as well. It can be the reason that you just kind of covered, right? There's extra attack range, you can hide, uh, and boots is whatever, you can just keep boots. So if you want to get Blink at this point, you can. Uh, I guess it's just like a preference, people. Four step can be used in a way as Blink. It's not as great. It's kind of scuffed Blink, but the great thing about four step is it cannot be interrupted. Blink is easily interrupted, and once they're on you, especially if they have like damage over time, it Blink just keeps resetting to 3 seconds. You can't really use it. Uh, Four step always works. You can also have your allies. Blink cannot. You kind of have to make that choice, which one of these you want to get, but usually I would kind of stay away from Blink until I get at least these. I at least get Everlance and Glimmer Cape, then I see, okay, we're gonna jump into Blink, and we're gonna jump into Force Staff. There's always an option for Ghost Scepter, works great on any support like this. Uh, if you have any trouble, uh, kind of like constantly dying from right click heroes, something like Faceless Void or Ursa or Rat King. Even though it might not save you that long, though, they always have some ways of catching up to you, anyways. Either stunts or jumps or slows. It can help you like a couple of seconds. Maybe you can disable with them with Nightmare, get away, uh, kill back. You can use this as well. Bane kind of have much more options with this. It's much more valuable for Bane to get this one, although it's not that is as effective when you finally finish ethereal, right? uh, some heroes benefit more from ethereal. Bane benefits more from ghost scepter form because of the way he can kind of escape, protect himself. So keep this in mind always. And yeah, as usual, Aeon Disc, it's kind of like another life. If they for any reason jump you, you're kind of unaware, you can see them. It can give you a couple of seconds to react. It casts a strong dispel as well, so no slows on you or anything like that. You can quickly, let's say, if you went for force step, you can quickly see that, push yourself out of the way, hide yourself after, or just kind of, if it's one or two target and you can kind of control them, disable one with nightmare and then see want to use this or this. If there's somebody from your team that's in the meanwhile kind of jump to save you, help you, you know, it's gonna never be. You can't be scared with Bane. He needs to kind of play offensively a lot. You know, he's kind of works the best when he's used offensively, right? So try not to get scared. Use only what you need to escape and kind of save the stuff so you can quickly turn around the fight. Always be ready to do a counter attack with Fiend's Grip. As soon as you build some distance and you have an extra attack cast range with this, always look quickly and see if you can catch somebody. If they kind of turn back or start running away or there's somebody from your team kind of jump in to help you. Immediately turn back and try to catch somebody with Fiend's Grip. Even if it gets interrupted for like 2 seconds, your team can still reach the target and kill them. So you did your job, right? In a way. So there's that. Link, as I mentioned, and this is something you would end with Bane anyways. If there's money, of course, in the game lasts that long, and you kind of feel you don't need any of these pieces, just finish your altering core, right? Uh, that will be pretty much the build, you know. Any of these kind of like extends your life. It's like a second life. Shard is also great. Shard pretty much makes your brace AoE something like I think it's Scepter for Night Stalker makes the Void. Yeah, in a same way. So you make this AoE. It's not a full heal as the first cast. The secondary target's only hit about 25%. Still a huge heal. Still AoE, right? So having like a few single target disables, have some nice AoE. This, you know, some nice utility items. You kind of did everything you're supposed to do as Bane, right? There's not really like anything recommend here that you would want to get. Like look how crazy this is. Somebody's putting Mask of Madness. It's crazy. But yeah, as you can see, nothing usual is nothing like crazy there. Like I said, Shadowblade kind of skip this, focus on the Glimmer Kit, and I guess there's an option always to get Ghost Scepter of Divinity. This can be used, you know, to remove any buffs if you get silenced. If any stun is flying towards you, you can lift yourself up. Interrupt any ults again. It's like another interrupt wave. There's like Witch Doctor, Crystal Maiden, Legion, Pudge. Immediately interrupt them, even Enigma. You'll have extra attack range in your Etherlands. This also gets like it's a really nice attack range. If there's Enigma ulting, doesn't have a shard, maybe even if she has, you can still pretty easily use this if this is on cooldown for some, right? So that would pretty much it. Again, some people like playing Blink, some people play Force Staff instead. More team oriented. Depend on if you get hit or not. There's no reset like with Blink. So saves more people, but then again, this is a great way to play more aggressively. I would say, as usual, decide depending on your team pick. If your team is really oriented towards being more aggressive, you're the one ganking. Your team is the one ganking all the time. You just kind of ignore the force step then and go for something like blink. And like I said, blink in, stable one target with nightmare, immediately ult the other target. You can hide yourself then. If anybody's there, if they can't really see you, there's no dust, there's no ward. They're gonna have to sit through the whole ult then, pretty much almost, right? 5 seconds, 6 on the last, so there's that. And that will be for the items, really. Uh, Talent tree, I would just take a free, like, mini hood. Why not? Armor doesn't do that much, really. It's only 5. I just take magic resistance. Pins grip max mana drain, you do not care about that. Yeah, I also forgot to mention this drains mana, but you don't really care about that much, right? Just take the brain save cooldown. It gets even more value if you go for shard as AoE. And third one, movement speed or nightmare cooldown. Again, I would just always take like spells reduction here. You'll be having at this point, if the game goes this longer and you're level 20, you'll be having definitely either blink or force staff or even you'll scepter. They all give movement speed. This gives you 20 movement speed. This gives you push. This gives you blink, right? Uh, you can get it, but I kind of like I like this more, right? Fights can drag out. You know, sometimes fights can really drag out. You kind of need to be chasing and having this beyond the shorter reload can be really nice, right? Yeah, this can also be used on you. I forgot to mention. Also put yourself in the anybody attacks you, they kind of get then they go into sleep. This how this spell works, by the way. Whenever you cast it on somebody, Your teammate's gonna be careful not to attack it unless it expires. Until you're the only one that can attack somebody that's nightmared. That's kind of the only problem with this spell. They're still disabled, right? And recently they also added damage. This spell. Before this spell did 0 damage, but now it does damage again, similar to like Dota 1. Dota 1 it also did damage. Uh, can't really remember, but you could also like cast on yourself and deny them the kill. Yeah, you could also cast it on the allies and deny the kills, right? You can kill your teammates with this. So yeah, back to the talent tree. So the right one here and last one really, I would say depends. 5 seconds Fiend's Grip is amazing. That is if you can really last 11 seconds. That's a lot. I think somebody is gonna get you. Even if you, this remind me, even if you go for something like Black King Bar, even at the first level of 9 seconds, still 2 seconds over. So, you know, keep in mind this is gonna quickly hit 6 seconds. So, although Fiend's Grip is really nice, kind of immediate impact, you know, more damage, more heal. Especially becomes better if you have the shard. Like a 200 per each hero you can hit. I kind of believe 6 seconds is enough, but again, really it depends. If you feel like they can't really interrupt you or team kind of keeps them under control, go for the left one. If not, go for the right one. That's pretty much it. And yeah, I kind of the one item that I dropped actually, I forgot about this. So Scepter as usual is kind of like so the advantage like of Scepter is even if one of you stays alive, let's say you not you but like an illusion dies, as long as one illusion is casting the Fiend's Grip, they're gonna be locked in, right? So they gotta kill all of these, you know. So see, I'm moving around and the illusions are still keeping them under ult. So that's one great way to use that. You can just kind of cast it and then run. Illusions are gonna take care of it. They quickly die though, 200% extra damage if anybody attacks them, and they immediately die if somebody interrupts them. But that's the same way you would die, right? Anyways, or get interrupted. So that's like a nice way. It's because I dropped it earlier, I completely forgot I had Scepter. So that Scepter again, as support, as somebody who kind of needs some more items before going for something like this. It's a lot of money. Bane is another one that can really farm waves. You can get shard, so he becomes much better. But until then, you're kind of stuck on just right clicking slowly with low damage each of the mob in the wave, you know. So unless you kind of rush this, there's no easy way for you to farm if you want to farm for something like this. And it's also putting everything into ult, and in this way before the steps you kind of branch out a lot more, right? Extra cast range, you can hide, you can blink or force step. Even this, you kind of branch like on a much bigger scale, right? Where everything is not put into ult, and if this fails, everything else fails, right? It's a lot of money for support. So yeah, that would be it. Couple of items, like I said, you should kind of always make and then decide whatever you want to go force step, want to go blink. You want to ignore all of that and just try and get Scepter. I mean, that's completely fine. Again, if the game is going well, if your team is allowing you for some time to get that, usually you won't get time, you won't get waves. Cores need to farm it, cores need the jungle farm. So you kind of might be just strictly reduced to getting just maybe 1 or 2 items. The game even might end there. You're winning or losing, however, the game usually ends much before you can get all of this stuff, right? So that with the Bane, needs kind of a bit of practice, but once you get the practice in, it's really fun. A lot of stuff to cast, of course, 4 spells. Plus the Glimmer Cap is 5, plus this, even if it's Blink or this, that's 6. Something like here like can be 7. 7 things to cast can be a bit much. but becomes pretty natural for you the more you play. I mean, you can exactly know who you're gonna disable, who you're gonna ult, when to hide, and stuff. You just gotta practice. That's it. And so that's Bane, and I'll see you guys on the next one.